In today's video, we're going to talk about the secrets to building muscle. Now, in a recent video, my fellow bro Tom Venuto, author of Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle, and the Body Fat Solution, dropped a comment saying that he didn't care about anything else I had to share. He just wanted to know my arm size secrets. Now, Tom's been a friend, a mentor, and a role model of mine for the past 20 years, so a little bit of joking going on here. And I mentioned that, all I have to do is think about curling a dumbbell and my arms seem to grow. I really wish that all the rest of my body parts responded just as well to the training stimulus as my arms do. And Tom's like, dude, all the skinny armed guys out there don't want to hear that it's just genetics. We want to know the secrets. So all kidding aside, Tom is definitely not the only one who brings this topic up. I hear a lot from my fellow bros who assume that because my arms seem to be kind of, I'd say, disproportionately larger than some of my other muscle groups, they think that I must be doing something different. I must be applying a lot of different training tactics and advanced training techniques to make them grow so much more than the rest of my body parts. And I certainly, for myself, don't want to have one body part that's a lot larger than anything else. I want all of my muscles to be as big as they possibly can. So really it does unfortunately come down to genetics. A lot of it comes down to where my muscles originate, where they insert, maybe the muscle fiber types, the shape of the muscle bellies. Maybe my biceps and my triceps have more satellite cells in them. It really allows them greater potential for muscle growth. So I know a lot of the guys out there don't want to hear that it comes down to genetics. They just think that, all right, maybe if I follow exactly what Scott does for arm training, I'm going to get big arms as well. As just not the case. You can't go based on how someone looks to assume that they must be doing something special or different with their training that's allowing that muscle group to grow so much more. A lot of it really does come down to genetics. When you look at my program, especially nowadays, I don't do a lot of direct arm work. Now, back in the day, I did do a few more sets here and there, but right now I probably only do 2 to 3 sets for biceps and 2 to 3 sets for triceps for the week, direct work. The rest of the time, they're just getting kind of stimulus from a secondary approach, whether you're doing biceps are getting stimulated when I'm doing back rows or pull downs, and my triceps are getting stimulated when I'm doing some chest presses or shoulder presses there. So not a lot of direct arm work. So a lot of guys that look at what I'm doing go, well, that's not enough to make my arms grow, but that's exactly what I'm doing. So you got to be careful with what you're looking at out there when it comes to trying to decide how you're going to select a training program. And on the flip side, the very next day, I shared this photo and someone dropped a comment saying, do you not do any kind of incline chest presses? I'm assuming they said this because my chest happens to be one of my, I'd say, weaker or lagging body parts there. It's certainly not as developed as my arms are. So again, based on the appearance of my physique, some people may assume I don't know what the heck I'm doing when it comes to chest training, or I'm not incorporating any kind of secrets or advanced training tactics, advanced training techniques. And this actually came up about 2 months ago in a very respectful way. Someone making a comment that he noticed that my chest happens to be one of my weaker body parts, and very respectful, like I said, in how he was approaching this. And he's just curious if I'm just accepting this as genetics or if I've actually tried any other programs out there or techniques or tactics that would kind of spark more growth. And I gotta say, especially when it comes to weaker body parts, those are the body parts that I am looking and have tried many, many different advanced training techniques and many different programs out there, specialized training programs, try to bring up the chest. And it's my genetics, unfortunately. It does come down to that. Some muscles just respond better to the training stimulus than others do. I've tried high frequency, I've tried high volume, I've tried low volume, I've tried every advanced training technique in the book. Like I said, I've tried specialized training where every other muscle group hardly got any kind of training stimulus at all, and all my stimulus went to my chest. So all the fuel that it's consuming was going towards growth for my chest, and it still didn't have any kind of impact there. Same could be said for my calves, although I gotta say, lately people have been making some positive comments about the gains I've been experiencing in my calves. Mind you, it's small, but my calves are actually looking pretty darn good at this point right now. Again, a muscle group where I am studying everything under the sun and trying everything under the sun to get them to grow. And yet there's other guys out there who I see monster freaking calves. I'll go up to them and go dude, what are you doing to get your calves so big? And I haven't done any calf exercises ever. It's just the way they are. So is that the secret to like not train calves? Like there's a lot of guys out there have massive calves, never done a single calf exercise in their life. So again, it comes down to like, you can't judge what you should do to grow a certain muscle group just because of someone else's appearance there. Like for myself personally, I'd rather be looking to someone who's like tried freaking everything. They really tried all the advanced different training techniques, have kind of weaker genetics for a certain muscle group, and are doing everything they can to grow the muscle group, even though it may not be large. You see the progress that they've made over the years, and you see how determined they are to find these different techniques to get out there. Those are the people I would rather kind of learn from than someone who just naturally, I've never done anything before, and they just happen to be big. Well, that's not going to help me. And same thing, like I said, when it comes to my arms, like you probably don't want to know what I'm doing for my arms because it might not serve you the best. So really, the secret to building muscle comes down to you trying a variety of different muscle building strategies and seeing which ones your body responds best to. And understanding that some body parts are going to respond better than others. And that's okay. That is totally normal. And if your body ends up not looking like the photo of the author at the end of following that program, again, that's okay. Realizing that the photo of them is a snapshot in time. I remember it wasn't that long ago, someone dropped a comment on one of my videos saying that he was actually mad that I look so much more muscular and bigger in my photos, like the thumbnails on the video, than I do in my video. I'm like, of course, I'm flexing in the photo. So if I'm standing here relaxed, my arms don't necessarily look big, but like if I flex them or I'm in the right kind of lighting and maybe after a pump or something like that, my arms will look bigger. But like I said, again, like people who see me in person will always ask me a question like, what are you doing for your arms to get so big? Again, it's just in comparison to other muscle groups, they tend to be larger. No one's asking me about my secret to chest training, even though I have tried so many different tactics. I probably have more knowledge about building a bigger chest or building bigger calves than I do arms. So again, don't judge a book by a cover, and don't just realize that these pictures, the photos of myself, photos of authors out there with different programs that are out there, it's just a snapshot in time. And don't compare yourself to where you're at to that person, that snapshot, that moment in time where the lighting might be great, maybe they had a great pump. And again, that person, like for myself personally, 3 decades of lifting under my belt right now. So there's a lot of muscle maturity that's gone on. And how I'm training today is different than how I trained 10, 20 years ago. So a lot of my physique was built like 20 years ago when I was doing more high volume arm work there. But again, my arms still tend to grow right now, even with minimal training at this point. So again, you can't judge the effectiveness of a program or think that, all right, this person is doing low volume training right now, their body looks incredible, realizing that, all right, their body may have been built by high volume training back in the day. This is just what they're doing right now. Or some might shift more towards calisthenics. Like now I'm doing more yoga than I'm doing weight training. So weight training 4 days per week, but I was weight training 6 days per week. And now I'm totally changed my lifestyle. What I'm focused on right now, you look at my physique, you go, oh, I got to do what Scott's doing right now. Like realize that my body was built over the past 3 decades. So again, don't do the comparison game. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just educate yourself. And the best thing you can do is just take what resonates with you, try it, see how your body responds. And again, don't get disappointed if a muscle group doesn't come up. There's always something else to try. But recognize that genetics are definitely involved in the picture. So I know there's a lot of people, there seems to be like the most popular influencers, the people are selling the most programs, are either enhanced or like genetically gifted, and not taken away from them because they're clearly putting in the work. I'm putting in the work. But again, it can come easier to us, and we can't compare ourselves to other people because they're responding way better than you're responding. You look at every single study that's out there, research paper, you see some people are very low on the spectrum for responding to a training program, and some people are like very high responders, and then there's people in the middle, like trying to grab that mean in the middle there to decide on the effectiveness of the program. But there's no one ever responds to the training program exactly the same, especially in a lab environment. You see that clearly there. So just my 2 cents, my thoughts for the day right now that I wanted to share with you, because I do see a lot of guys comparing themselves to others and investing in programs because of how the author of the program looks. There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes there that you need to be aware about yourself, and just, again, educate yourself, and more than anything, just try it for yourself and see how your body responds. That's what's going to give you the greatest insight overall. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. Let me know if there's any topics you would like me to address in future videos. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.